Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to all the participants and our esteemed speakers for today. So, welcome to everyone to the opening ceremony of Prajatantra 2025, a national youth festival co-organized by Praja Foundation, National Institute of Urban Affairs, and UN Habitat, with a generous support from Rohini Nilekani Philanthropies and Madhu Mehta Foundation. This year, we are also excited to have Vijal Institute as our knowledge partner. So, I believe a lot of you must have already attended the knowledge sessions of artificial intelligence. So, with this, we officially kickstart the opening ceremony, and I'll just share a video with all of you first, and then we'll continue.
India, the world's largest democracy, where over half the population is under 30. Imagine the power of this young energy, bold ideas, fresh perspective, and an unstoppable drive to shape the cities of tomorrow. What if we could channel this energy directly into governance? That's where Prajatantra comes in. Launched by Praja Foundation in 2019, this National Youth Festival engages young minds in reimagining city governance. Through immersive roleplay as decision makers, participants design their vision of a model city while learning directly from government leaders, policy experts, and changemakers. Inclusivity lies at the heart of Prajatantra. In 2024, over 2,500 youth from 102 cities across 28 states and 7 union territories came together. The Praja team reached out to 3,000 academic institutions and community organizations to ensure voices from every corner of India were heard. Over the years, Prajatantra has grown into a national celebration of participatory governance. In fact, this year we have set another benchmark with even more registrations than ever before. Proof that India's youth are eager to step up and lead. This year, we explore how artificial intelligence is reshaping governance and helps to create sustainable cities. From smarter urban planning to transparent public services, AI is unlocking possibilities like never before. And who better to imagine these innovations than the youth driving India's digital future? Prajatantra isn't just a festival, it's a movement, a space to learn, lead, and leave a mark of how our cities grow. Join us, be a part of Prajatantra, shape the urban future today.
Yes, you all are already a part of the event this year, and we are very excited to have all of you. Just going back with how we started in 2019 with just 7 teams. And over the years, we have grown. In 2022, we had around 200, more than 200 teams, which where we had we hosted the event under the G20 Y20 summit. And then overall, it has increased. Last year, we had more than 400 teams, and this year it is 674 teams from all the parts of the country, all the states and union territories. So we are very excited to have all of you. Thank you for being a part of this event. And with this, I think I'll introduce our speakers for today. Uh, we'll start with Debulina Kunduji, who is a director in National Institute of Urban Affairs. Then we have Ms. Parul Agarwala, who is the country managing director of UN Habitat, and Nitai Mehta, the managing trustee of Praja Foundation and founder as well. So we will start the discussion on leveraging AI for use of sustainable cities. And I invite Debulina ji to share her perspective with the young minds this year joining us for Prajatantra.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. A very good afternoon to all of you, the esteemed panelists and the young participants of Prajatantra 2025. It is really a privilege for me to be here today to discuss a theme that is not only timely but also transformative: the role of artificial intelligence in building sustainable cities. As director of NIUA, I have had the opportunity to work at the intersection of India's urban transition and technological innovation. We all know that India is in the midst of a massive demographic and spatial shift. By 2050, I think more than 50% of the population of the country will be living in urban areas. And this trajectory, I believe, will shape every aspect of life from housing, mobility, infrastructure, economy, and also the environment. And in this journey, the emerging AI would be emerging as a very powerful tool to support resilience, inclusivity, and also sustainability. AI, as you all know, offers us with a powerful tool to plan better, to manage smarter, and also to govern more efficiently. As the third national platform for disaster risk reduction in 2023, our Honorable Prime Minister stressed that emerging technologies, be it AI, the 5G, or the Internet of Things, these all need to be integrated with our ancestral and existing knowledge. And he also underlined that these technologies can also enable real time monitoring of vulnerabilities, early warning systems, and more efficient disaster management. I think this vision is already reflected in India's flagship programs uh, like the Amrut and the National Urban Digital Mission. And these initiatives are also trying to embed AI, geospatial systems, and digital platforms into the core of how cities are being planned, governed, and also the way we are trying to instill resilience in infrastructure planning. The Smart Cities mission, which has ended in March 2025, it covered around about 10 years of uh, existence in the country, tried to bring in AI and digital platforms across 100 cities. And it also tried to establish ICCCs, the Integrated Command and Control Centers, where AI was really used for real-time monitoring of various urban services like traffic, water supply, floods, and also public safety. And these AIs were very helpful during the times of the COVID, where they were repurposed into war rooms to track COVID cases, allocate resources, and also to provide targeted support, especially to the urban poor and informal settlements. Again, adaptive traffic control systems use AI algorithms to optimize traffic flows, reduce congestion, and also improve air quality, which directly benefits the low income groups and those who are also exposed to high pollution. And AI does have the transformative skills of climate risk management and disaster response. I think with predictive analytics, cities can create automated alerts and real time response systems for floods, which we are all experiencing across the northern part of India, the heat waves, and also the deteriorating air quality. And I think flood monitoring systems powered by AI could combine rainfall data, drainage networks, and satellite imagery to issue proactive alerts in cities uh, like Surat and Pune, which are already using such technologies. The Amrut scheme of the Government of India is trying to bring about GIS based master plans in all the 5,000 towns and cities across the country. And AI here again plays a very critical role in monitoring urban growth patterns, in identifying the hazard prone areas, and also in detecting service delivery gaps. For the National Urban Digital Mission, which is again pan India across all towns and cities, and also in states like Kerala, it is across all domains, both rural and urban, where we are having 16 services um, uh, for all towns and cities. And AI is again a very powerful tool here across various services like mobility, sanitation, climate resilience, uh, and so on. And the mission also represents a fundamental shift from governance that is citizen centric, data-driven, and also digitally enabled. Again, we all are aware that climate change is no longer a distant threat. It is a lived reality for most Indian cities. Heat waves, the current floods, droughts, and also sea level rise are putting lives, livelihood, and infrastructure at risk. And the urban poor, particularly the informal settlements, they face the brunt of this risk at the most. And the artificial intelligence here again has a very unique role in helping us in preparation of the heat action plans that use predictive models to save lives, again early warning systems for floods and cyclones, and also to prepare climate sensitive planning that integrates risk data into development decisions. At the National Institute of Urban Affairs, we are trying to advance this agenda through the city climate action plans and also the urban river management plans across several cities. And these integrated AI driven analytics, whether it is in water management, climate adaptation, or in urban design, are very important. And I also believe that while we are working with AI on what we call the triple P framework, where people at an important vertical, where we are trying to keep communities at the center of solutions. Process is also very important, where we are trying to ensure governance is participatory and also transparent. And platforms like the National Urban Digital Mission, we are trying to use the digital systems for real-time scalable solutions. And there are several illustrative examples across the country. The Nama Chennai app uses AI for real-time civic reporting and also drainage monitoring, trying to reduce the flood risk. In Vishakhapatnam, AI is being deployed for CCTV analysis of public alerts and risk detection in various urban services. The City Innovative Exchange, which is again a parallel offshoot of the Smart Cities mission, tries to connect cities with innovators to co-create AI-based projects in sanitation, mobility, and city resilience. The AI playbook for cities prepared by our ministry and the Niti Aayog guides municipalities to adopt AI responsibly and also ethically. Uh, there are challenges in this. It's not that things are very rosy. There are challenges in adoption of AI. I think the first is the data gaps. Then again, the algorithm bias needs to be avoided to ensure diverse and representative data sets. And also, governance and ethics must remain at the forefront. We need to try to build trust, transparency, and also accountability. And addressing these challenges will decide whether AI becomes a force for equity or one that deepens the city level divide. And in conclusion, I would just like to reiterate that AI is just not a technology. I think it is a catalyst for reimagining our cities as resilient, inclusive, and sustainable units. And guided by ethics, equity, and participation, I think AI can help us build cities that are not only smart but also safe, just, and sustainable. And as our Honorable Prime Minister reminded us, integrating AI, 5G, and Internet of Things with our traditional wisdom gives a model for building urban resilience that the world can learn from. Let us commit ourselves to ensuring that no settlement or no citizen is left behind in this process of digital transformation. I wish you all the best and a very successful event in the days to come. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You have actually shared all the live examples that participants can also use. So thank you so much for that. We'll move on to Miss Parul Agarwala.
Yeah, thank you, Pratiksha. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, yes, you're
Yes,
on.
yes. And first of all, a very heartfelt welcome to all the youth who have joined us. I was looking at your sign in the chat box, and looks like कि पूरे देश को आपने cover कर लिया है, from Jammu Kashmir to Tamil Nadu to Assam, Guwahati, Maharashtra. So kudos to the Prajatantra team to really reach out to all the cohorts of youth all across the nation. So I'm already looking forward to a very, very interactive, engaging Praja Tantra this year. Um, आई थिंक देवलीना जी ने एन आई सी आप लोगों ने थोड़ा रिक्वेस्ट भी किया है कि हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों में बात करें, सो आई ट्राई टू अटेम्प्ट दैट. So my, Debolina ji, she's already spoken a lot about how India is already doing, the ministry and the government is thinking of applying artificial intelligence in our cities, in improving how our cities function. So I want to, continue on that. And she was in her, in her concluding remarks, she mentioned some very important topics on accountability, on participation, on reaching out to local communities. So let me start with that and build up on that. Prajatantra, it just stands for how to engage with local communities, and I think that is where your generation that is so proactive already in using digital tools will have to come up to speed on how to use AI in a more meaningful manner. And to also understand कि एक तो ये AI, artificial intelligence और digitalization में एक फ़र्क क्या है. So as you are working through the competition, please also go back and try to do a bit of homework. ये दोनों चीज़ें थोड़ी अलग अलग हैं, और AI का मतलब क्या है, उसका किस तरीके से application हो सकता है. So let me give you an example for us in cities. कि हम जो डे टू डे एक्टिविटीज़ हैं, सिटी मैनेजमेंट ऑफ रनिंग द सिटी, जिसमें फोकस again comes back to the people who live in the cities, and at the complete as the foundation of a city really is on how well the leaders, the officials who run the city are able to understand the need of the communities, and they're able to respond to it. And I think this is where we need to continue to work hard. We need to see how do we use our tools, जो हमारे डिजिटल टूल्स हैं, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस है, इन सब का हम इस्तेमाल करते हुए how to really build that trust between the local communities and between the leaders. Because wherever this trust breaks, we see challenges that communities, residents do not feel very happy. And I can speak from my own experience. Whenever there is flooding in on the streets, I'm always thinking कि ये road अच्छे से design किसने नहीं करी है. So so I think this is the reason to see how do we use the tools to really engage with the local leaders, with the officials, and also the vice versa. How can the officials, how can the local leaders engage with communities? And AI is very useful because हम लोग का there is so much data being collected. हम लोग सब अपने अपने तरीके से either on Instagram or TikTok या LinkedIn, on different types of social media, we express our concerns कि हमारे locality में क्या problem है, and at the same time we also like write some words of praise where things are working. Now for a city, how do you collect all this information जो इतने सारे लोग ये positive, negative information भेज रहे हैं? How do we use, how do we collect this information? How do we quickly process it so that we can actually use it in doing better city management? So I think this is one of the first applications that I would encourage you all to consider and think, that how can artificial intelligence, digitalization really help in fast tracking some of these very, very relevant, real citizen issues that we face, and which are continuing to get even worse as the climate is changing, as the infrastructure is aging. Some of our cities were built many, many decades back. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पुराना हो रहा है, तो वहाँ पे हमें कैसे, किस तरीके से हम आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस और डिजिटलाइजेशन का इस्तेमाल करके टेक्निकली सिटीज़ को अच्छा बनाएं, सोशली सिटीज़ को ज़्यादा इंक्लूसिव बनाएं और इक्विटेबल बनाएं. सो दैट इज़ वन कि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस और डिजिटल टूल्स का, सोशल मीडिया का हम कैसे ये एंगेजमेंट में इसका इस्तेमाल करें, so that people can have very very clear, transparent and accountable dialogue with the leadership, and leadership can also then reach out to the local communities and find solutions to their problems. Second aspect is again going to a bit more technical side, that I think the benefit of tools like AI and digitalization is that not everybody has to be now a subject matter expert to get data. What do I mean by that? Of course, an engineer, a climate engineer or a climate scientist or or a mathematician or an urban planner like me, we go to school, we study, we spend a lot of times to specialize. But there are tools now which are easily accessible to everyday, people. For me, like I'm not a geologist, but I can use artificial intelligence to get a very specific type of understanding on the geography or on the climate, aspect. For which I don't have to go and spend too much time in school, but then that will help me in my day-to-day, professional work also. That this is a real challenge. There is the data to support it, and then how can we now apply it in our everyday functions? So I think that is another very, very interesting application where we can use artificial intelligence. We can use tools like Gemini and Chat GPT to really, look into how some areas, professional areas, जिनके लिए पहले बहुत time तक पढ़ाई करनी पड़ती थी, but then they can become easily accessible to us so that we can be more informed and we can be more engaged. So that is something I would really दिस इज द यंग फेलो, ये अभी थोड़े सिर्फ 10 साल में आप लोगों के साथ कंपटीशन में पार्ट लेंगे. बट आई थिंक दैट इज द सेकेंड एस्पेक्ट कि हम लोग जो एक ये आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस है, ये जो प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं, हाउ डू वी यूज देम, हाउ डू वी फॉर आवर बेनिफिट, how can we use that tool to say, okay, what would be the predictive, like Devalini ji was talking about, how can we use it to use some predictive modeling on what is possible, and then use that negotiation. So very real examples for that is that in any city, at the end of the day, the mayors, the elected officers, they are sitting in the seats of power, and ultimately they are the ones who are taking decisions on which law to pass, which sort of which project to fund for your infrastructure investments. And then how do we empower them so that जब वो ये सब चीज़ों को decide करने की उस time पर पहुँचे, so that they have very real data available to them, जिसके लिए बहुत technical भी नहीं हो, but then it can be very effectively able to convey the key messages to them. So I have experimented with this, so I can say that with a certain level of confidence, that the platforms like Chat GPT and Gemini, if you do some bit of training, they can give you that information that हमें अपने शहर में ये बारिश की प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, ये these are some of the aspects that are the current challenges. How can the tool help us in making certain decisions, at least to get the conversation started, and then also engaging with technical experts who will continue to be important. आपको अल्टीमेटली इंजीनियर्स के साथ में, साइंटिस्ट के साथ में वो बात करनी ही पड़ेगी ज़रूरी, बट यू विल हैव अ लिटिल मोर इन्फॉर्मेशन टू हैव द डायलॉग विद देम. And the third thing, the last message I want to leave you with that on is on the engagement of youth. I think that is also very, very important, especially in the context of our country. And it's a globally well-known fact when everyone is talking about India's youth dividend, where we are a young country, while all the other countries, especially in the developed world, are aging, and there is the demographic projection that in a few years, in a few decades, in terms of their age cohorts, there will be more higher percentage of persons who would not participate in the workforce, whereas we are at a point where for several decades, a lot of our youth, a majority of our youth or population will be part of the labor workforce. So, given that, and given the trend that we are seeing, we're talking about AI as the fourth industrial revolution. Given that, how do we really, adequately train all our youth कि सबको AI का हमारे पे क्या इफेक्ट होने वाला है, AI के चेंजेस से किस तरीके के इफेक्ट होंगे जो अभी सब समझने we can adequately prepare this whole generation in that, and some very real challenges which Devilina ji was also speaking about, which was on the AI bias. So we know that already in our current social, depending on where we are, there are a lot of biases. There is a gender bias, जो हम काफ़ी बात करते हैं, depending on the social context of countries. It's not unique to India. ये पूरी दुनिया में है, अलग अलग तरीकों से this is manifested. But there are biases based on race, biases based on income. And so to make sure that artificial intelligence and the tools that are developed do not further increase this bias in their models. और इसके भी काफ़ी स्टडीज़ हैं, काफ़ी जानकारी इस पे अवेलेबल है, एंड दिस इज़ द टाइम फॉर अस टू स्टार्ट मेकिंग इनफ नॉइज दैट जो भी ये टूल्स अभी बन रहे हैं आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, ये इन सब बायसेस को और एक्सपैंड नहीं करे, but it should work in a way that really brings everyone together. And a lot of hope on the youth that you continue to learn, adapt, and find new ways to really apply these tools, and think in a more innovative manner, and to think of things जो हमें पता भी नहीं है कि किस तरीके से we need to consider, and like what the options are, but to be very very have a very systematic thinking in that sense कि हमें एक ये जो tool है इसका हम अच्छे तरीके से भी we can use it, or we can even use it in a way that will create challenges. So how do we really, as a very young country, think of different applications, be it on engagement, be it on fast tracking some of the technological innovations, be it on shifting the mindsets to use more green technologies, on how to engage the larger communities on not using plastic. So there is just so many different ways for youth to engage, and to engage with the tool, and to use that then to engage with the larger communities, so that our cities can be made more made more resilient, and can be made better for all of us to live in. So I'll end with that, and thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to seeing what and then learning, in fact, from this whole experience of discussions on AI and city development this year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and a very warm welcome to the little one as well. Kudos to you for juggling this, him, and also all the other work that you're doing. Thank you so much for sharing your views. I think it's very important what you have shared with respect to the trust between the government and the public, and also various other topics that you have highlighted. It will definitely guide our participants to prepare for their events. Thank you so much. With this, I'll move on to Nitai.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So, first of all, welcome everybody for this opening ceremony for Prajatantra. I'd especially like to welcome Devilina ji and Parul Agarwal ji, who have been supporting Praja through its journey at Prajatantra for so many years, and of course, and other programs also that we are jointly being done with NIUA in the last few years. Prajatantra, before I get to AI and other things, Prajat, I just would like to sort of say that it's been a fascinating journey for Prajatantra since 2017, where we started off with just 7 colleges in Mumbai. We have now reached and record-breaking 670 plus teams that are participating in this program, which is in itself a great achievement. I must thank the Praja team to have been able to, sort of popularize this program over the years, right from when we started in Mumbai to where we took it to Delhi and to Lucknow, and this time we are returning to Mumbai. And it's been a great achievement. So congratulations to the Praja team for having achieved this, and welcome everybody who's participating from across the country to this program. We are very excited to have all of you here, and we're very excited to see this program and how it sort of evolves in the next few weeks and months. Why AI? Why did Praja choose AI? Uh, our Debulinerji and Parulji have gone through the entire things of AI and its impact. But we also felt that there is an importance of introducing this to our young students and participants in across India, because that is where this future of innovation lies, and that's where the world is heading towards. And I think if India needs to leapfrog and achieve what it wants to do by 2047 to become a fully Viksit Bharat or developed country, I think it is very critical that India builds it on the foundation of knowledge, aided with other tools, and AI is one of those tools. And that is very critical for our country to become what it aspires to become. And who better than the young and the youth of this country who can really take this dream forward for India as such. And that's why we chose AI as a subject for this program, for this Prajatantra. And we hope that through the knowledge sessions that many of you all have gone through, it will spark an interest in AI and in thinking, for the future for our country, and of course, specifically as far as this program is concerned, for urban India, which is very, very critical. Urban India is the growth engines for our country, and if we can make our urban centers more efficient, accountable, more involved, inclusive, and humane, we will be able to achieve a lot for aspiring and becoming that dream of Viksit Bharat. And AI is one of those tools. So I'm very happy that the Praja team has chosen the idea of AI. I'm very happy that Vaijal Institute has come in as knowledge partners to have these training knowledge sessions with all of you all across this thing. And we really hope that this inspires you to really work towards using AI not only in, of course, for this program and for urban development, but also for yourselves, and spreading this whole information and idea of AI. As all of you know, AI has become across the world the greatest disruptor that has happened. It's the new or fourth industrial revolution. One can define that. And it is now for us, it's important for us to seize that opportunity and take advantage of this technology to use it for, of course, yourselves and, of course, for society at large. So, most of the points have been covered by Debulina ji and Parul ji. So I don't want to dwell and repeat these things, but I think it's critical that all of you all participate very enthusiastically in the program, and the challenges that we have set up for you all and use AI as a technology. You all will be judged on these programs, and ultimately the finalists will be invited to Mumbai, and we will have the finals in Mumbai. So I'd like to welcome all of you again to this program. Take advantage of this knowledge sessions that we've had. These have been recorded. I think we have already shared it on Praja's YouTube channel. So please have a look at it if you all have missed out any of the knowledge sessions. So it'll be wonderful for you all to look at it. And finally, I'd like to sort of once again welcome all of you, and best of luck to all the participating teams who are going to be there in this program for Prajatantra. And may the best team and people win. And looking forward to seeing all of you, the finalists in Mumbai. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nitai. Can I just request all the participants to just turn on their cameras, please? So, I believe, like Nitai mentioned, we have all attended. I think most of you must have attended all the knowledge sessions that we had over 5 days with Vijal Institute on AI. How many of you have created maybe music from Suno already? You could, use the reactions to respond. I think they were all very interesting sessions to also help you prepare. I would just like to highlight that, you use these tools to enhance your preparation. Don't make use of it to, I mean, create it, use it to enhance, and use all the suggestions and ideas shared today by our speakers to also include it in your speech and other quiz competition and other preparation as well. So with this, thank you so much to Debulina ji, Parul ji, and Nitai as well for sharing your views and for your precious time. We will just take one picture with all the participants and our speakers for today, and then we will conclude. Just a second. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. And with this, we kickstart the official qualifying rounds of Prajatantra 2025. And we have the mayor speech competition in a few minutes. So all the best to all the mayor speech participants, and all the very best. We will be in touch with you. Our fellows, our interns, our volunteers, they're constantly in touch with you to solve any queries that you have. We are also there in touch with you with through WhatsApp groups, etc. So please participate, and if you ever feel nervous or you have any doubts, please reach out to us. And thank you so much for making Prajatantra grand success this year as well. And looking forward to see you all in the grand finale in person in Mumbai. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Nitai. Thank you, Debulina ji. Thank you, Parul
Thank
ji.
you.
Thank you very much.